Good evening, everybody, and welcome to RAMP, Real Access Motivates Progress live Wednesday night podcast. We are so excited that you joined us again this week. And as always, we have another fabulous resource and organization to highlight for you tonight. So we don't want to waste any time because I cannot wait to talk to this amazing individual from Big Brothers Big Sisters organization. Welcome, Tina, to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Tina. Great name, by the way. I'm excited to be here. I know you and I have been able to talk offline a few times. We've always had some great conversations, so excited for tonight.
It's all about the name Tina. Tina's do fabulous things in Rhode Island. So for those who don't know you, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Thank you. Yeah, so my name is Tina Santos. I'm the Director of Marketing at Big Brothers Big Sisters of Rhode Island. I have been with the organization 7 years now. I've had the opportunity to sort of grow throughout a few different roles at the organization, that included, fundraising and events, from running mentoring programs at schools, and then slowly going into the recruitment and marketing role that I'm now in currently.
That sounds so exciting. You do so much stuff. So how did you get involved in the nonprofit and with Big Brothers Big Sisters specifically?
Yeah, so I've always been very passionate about helping the community. The last job that I had was working with young people who was living with a chronic illness, and just really being able to advocate for them inside schools and running a day camp for them as well. And so it's something near and dear to my heart to just really help the community, help young people. And for me, Big Brothers Big Sisters was another great way to do that. It was through our CEO, Katie Afonseca. I had worked with her in the past, and she started working there and said, "Hey, you need to check this organization out as well. It's a great place. Come on over and see what you think." And so, she encouraged me to check it out, and I was able to interview and get a job there. And that's a wrap.
You do so many amazing things. And, what a lot of people don't know is even though I knew about you and I've connected with Big Brothers Big Sisters, but me and you are in the Leadership Rhode Island program, the Tau 2 class.
Yes,
So it makes it even more special that you are a fellow classmate of mine, that we get to share our passions and what we do. So tell us a little bit about what Big Brothers Big Sisters has on the horizon, or what is going on right now at Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Yeah, so there is so much happening at Big Brothers Big Sisters. And so first, I'd like to just tell everybody a little bit about who we are. Maybe you're not familiar with our organization, we are a mentoring organization who has been around here in Rhode Island for more than 55 years. We serve young people between the ages of 7 through 25, and we create and support one-to-one mentoring relationships. We are part of Big Brothers Big Sisters of America. So we're an affiliate of Big Brothers Big Sisters of America, who have been around for over 100 years, actually, and with mentoring. So we're really fortunate to be part of this organization. The big thing for us is, basically what our program objectives are to inspire, ignite, and empower young people. Sometimes when folks think about mentoring, they think of it as a very sort of scary, even, or heavy thing, and it is very, a critical thing that the community needs. However, for us, mentoring is about empowering, and that word really sticks out to me, and that's the one that I like to sort of dive deeper into, because it's really just about helping young people see the potential that they already have, and really helping them just to become confident in that. And that's a big part of what we do with the mentoring organization. We also have a unique model, actually, because we also have a separate 501(c) as part of our organization, the Donation Center Foundation of Rhode Island. It's a large-scale cloth donation center, and what that does is it actually collects clothing and household items for resale as a way to generate funds for our mentoring program. So 70% of our mentoring programs are funded through our cloth donation center. Which is really awesome. And so you may have seen our green bins all around the state. They're bright green that's behind me. We have over 100 bins throughout the state. We do free curbside pickups, which many of you may have taken advantage of. We come right to your home and can collect clothing and small household items. And we also have 4 donation drop-off sites throughout the state as well.
It's so amazing. Like I said, you do so much. And, we're proud to have you going to be at Accessibility is Beautiful this year in September, where you're going to have a drop off location where you're going to be taking the drop offs live at
Yes.
our event. So on September 23rd, come on down to the Steel Yard. And if you have, anything to donate to Big Brothers Big Sisters, you can bring it with you, and they will have a truck there to tell you a little bit more about their program and to take your donations so you can give it to somebody live. So we're so excited to have you as part of this year. What are you looking for the public? What are you looking for people to do, and how can they get involved?
Yeah, well, first, I would say I'll start with mentoring. We are always in need of mentors. Right now, we are specifically in need of male mentors. We accept mentors of all ages, genders. Well, I should say you should be 19 years of age to start and up. But right now, we have about 50 boys who have specifically requested a male mentor um, to a male to mentor them. And so we are looking for male mentors right now to match with these boys. Some of them have been waiting fully enrolled for over a year. And so we really, really want to find someone to pair them up with. It's important to us to make matches that are going to be long and strong. And so what I mean by that is we could have 50 young people on our waiting list, and we could have 50 mentors on our waiting list. But if we don't see that they could be strong matches, we're actually not going to match them together. So it's important to us to have lots of potential mentors coming in so that we're able to make those, again, long, strong, and quality matches where you're going to be able to foster a great relationship and we're going to be able to see it grow throughout. To mentor in the organization, as I mentioned, you do need to be at least 19 years of age or older. You do need to have access to transportation or public transportation. And there's, with that, we're able to start the enrollment process. So you would just kind of either go on the website, you would give us a call, or you would email us, and we'll answer any questions that you might have about the program first and foremost. I know that lots of times many questions come up when it comes to mentoring, and we're always happy to answer those. And then once we sort of walk through those, if it's something that someone's still interested in, we would then move forward with an interview. And the interview is a really important piece of the enrollment process because we get to know who you are. And again, it's part of really trying to make that long and strong quality match because, we're finding out, what you enjoy, some of your interests, a little bit about your personality, but also, some of your walk, where have you been, what have you done, where are you at now? And because there might be other things that you can relate to a young person in deeper than just sort of you both enjoy movies, or you both enjoy art, or sports, or whatever it might be. And so that interview is really key. But yes, so that's sort of like how you can become a mentor. Once we have the interview process, there's some paperwork that we would fill out. We have training to help you feel sort of ready for that role, where we kind of go over just like some of the ins and outs of the program. And then also we require Jedi training to our organization. And then you would essentially become what's ready to be matched. And we would start looking for a little for you. So it's really exciting. It's really, really a wonderful program. There's lots of support. One of the things that we pride ourselves on is just really being an organization that takes the time to support every part of the match. And so what I mean by a match, that's a big, who is a mentor, a little, who's the mentee, and they're paired together and they make the match. And so we have lots of supports. We actually have an entire team of social workers that will connect with our bigs, our littles, and the parent guardian throughout the entire match, just to ensure that things are going smoothly. Do you need any support? How are things going? What have you been up to? Is there anything that's needed? And of course, asking some safety questions as well. And so that's really unique to have. And there's some other things I can highlight in just a minute, but I kind of want to pause there to see if you have other questions on that information.
Yeah, no, is there, you're not stuck. I don't want to say stuck. That's not the word I want to use. You're not, you know what I mean? If you start mentoring somebody and it's just not working the same way, doesn't mean you can't be a mentor anymore. It just means you might need to be matched with somebody else, or, you know what I mean, find the correct match. But what is the time restriction? I know a lot of people are going to ask, like, what is the time restraint it would take to do something like this?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the time investment is we ask for about 18 months. And the reason for that is we know that it takes some time sometimes to foster a relationship with a child or with an adult. And so that just gives enough time for, you to really build that strong relationship that we're looking for. And sort of the monthly time investment, it's about twice a month for 2 to 3 hours. So it comes out to about 6 to 8 hours a month. And I really, some of the ways that we've been describing that is almost less time than your average Netflix binge. Or if you tend to get your cell phone alerts and they'll tell you like what your daily screen time is. And sometimes I'm like, oh, wow, that's my daily screen time. And honestly, the 6 to 8 hours a month is probably way less than some people's daily screen time. So it's really, we know that people have a lot on their plate and time is valuable, but this is such an impactful way to spend your time, and it's fun. You get to just do things that you normally would do, whether it's running errands or things that you enjoy. Again, it could be a hobby that you enjoy, or you get to try new things together. So it's really an adventure to become a mentor. And with the support, it just is really, it makes it easy. So that's time investment is the 18 months, and it's about twice a month.
That is so awesome that you do that. Now, how do you recruit mentors? What are some of the ways that you're going? Like, is there a way that people could meet with other mentors? Is there, outings? Is there group events that, mentors can work together so they have some of that other support of who are actually doing it out in the community?
Yeah, so I would first say that within the folks that are already matched in the program, we have lots of free to low cost match activities, what we call them. So that could be an activity that we host specifically at our organization, or it can be something that's out in the community. We have lots and lots of wonderful community partners that donate tickets to shows, or just different things out in the community. Like we've done the Pumpkin Spectacular, we've done a Christmas Carol at Trinity, we have a great relationship with the PPAC. And so we're always able to offer lots of opportunities for matches to get together, do fun things, and kind of takes the weight off of you always having to think of something to do as well, but it gives that community feel as well. So you're able to meet other bigs and littles and connect in that way, which is really awesome. We also have a mentor, a big cafe. And so bigs get together monthly at our office and sometimes out in the community, and they're able to just talk about what's going on, in their match, and kind of support each other through, some of the successes that they might be having in their match, those we call mission moments, the relationship building. Are there some challenges? What are you doing? And pass ideas around. And that's just really helpful because you think,
Yeah.
you have that group of folks to just talk to about what you're doing. It really just again, provides a lot of support. But out in the community, for folks who may be interested and haven't been able to mentor yet, we do occasionally have recruitment events. We just partnered with our Providence Alpha Phi Alphas. They're amazing. They helped us host an event at Revival here in Providence, and we were able to just spread the word that we're going to be talking about mentoring. We had some hors d'oeuvre, some just light dinner and music and networking, and it was just a great time. And we were able to have one of our bigs actually join us and just do a little Q&A, kind of like what we're doing here, right? And so to say like,
Yeah.
what's your experience been like? How has your relationship grown? What are some of the things that you do with your little? What's been a favorite memory? And sharing those things, it was really helpful for individuals out in the community who were like kind of thinking about it, but not quite sure, to ask questions and, to potentially inquire after that, which is really great. So we are planning to host one of those events quarterly this year. So if you're following us on social media, or if you're on our website, as those events come up, we'll be sharing information about those. We're hoping to host one in May as part of a campaign called the Big Draft, which is about drafting mentors. So that will hopefully be coming up shortly.
Well, I just got a question and I'm going to answer it because I'm okay with it. One of the questions, that's what I'm doing when I'm looking away. I'm trying to filter through some of the questions because we're getting a ton in tonight. We can make big brothers, big sisters when they come to Accessibility is Beautiful. It can be a mentoring, networking event. Bring your little brother or little sister with you to the event, meet other, mentors. And if you're curious about signing up, they're going to be there. It's a great non-confrontational, fun atmosphere to be in. So we're just going to open it up that if you are thinking about it and you want to come on down, there's the time to them about it. You're going to be down at the event. You're going to be having some fun. Like I said, bring your little brothers or little sisters with you, and come on down and meet others. What do you feel about that?
Yeah, we love bringing our mentors, especially, and depending on the event, of course, some of our littles. And so it's a great way, again, to ask questions from the folks who are doing it, right? So it's one thing for me to come on and, speak about the program, which is great, and we love that. But it's awesome to hear from the bigs and littles because they have all of the information, as far as like the experience. And so they can talk to what it was like to build a relationship in the beginning, what it was like. We have matches that have been together close to 10 years, and we have some who were just matched like last week. So there's such a broad spectrum of perspectives on what the experience has been like. So we love that, to be able to involve them as well.
Yeah. One of the other questions that I have, and I find this question very interesting, is what type of mentors are you looking for? Is it like a business person? Is it somebody who, what type of mentors are you looking for? Or is it, wide open across the board?
Yeah, that's a wonderful question. And it's a question that we get all the time. And then first, what I will say is that many times when I'm out in the community, I'll maybe be just talking to someone about Big Brothers Big Sisters, and they'll initially say like, "I don't know if I can do that. Like, I don't know if I can become a mentor." And I think it's just something that a weight that we place on ourselves. And I think that's maybe it's just human nature to say like, "I'm not sure about this," But what I will say is that anyone can mentor. You don't have to have a fancy resume. You don't have to have like special skills. It's honestly what I was mentioning before. It's really just about being caring and consistent. It's about wanting to have some fun, being open to learning, being open to diversity, and just taking the time to listen to someone, right? Like we all want to be heard, and many of the young people that we interview, that's just the big thing. They just want to hang out. They just want to do simple things. Play a video game, shoot some hoops. It could be, do an arts and crafts activity, whatever it might be, watch a movie, run an errand, grab a coffee. It's literally just some of the simplest things that make the biggest impact. And yes, there are definitely really impactful moments that happen within those things that really are life-changing sometimes. But it's really just about empowering the young person. When the stat that always pops into my mind is that it takes just one caring, consistent adult to be in a young person's life to help them out and to really push them forward in their trajectory. And so that's really important.
And one thing that, I like to always say, and I'd like to get your thoughts on this, is your mentor doesn't have to look like you, or your mentee doesn't have to look like you. The only way we're going to open up perspectives and broaden people's horizon and, get to have them look at something else is maybe to mix match, mentors like, I mean, I'm in a wheelchair. I don't need to be mentoring children of disability only, getting regular children to interact with me and to see what my daily life is like. They get to have a whole new experience. They get to, experience life the way I do, because maybe somebody in their life down the road is going to end up like me, or it's going to put them in the nonprofit world, or show them some empathy down the way to learn something new. Like I like to learn all different cultures along the way. That I throw myself into every category, whether I blend in or I stand out. Most of the time I stand out just because of my rhinestone wheelchair. But
I was going to say the rhinestone shoes, but
yeah, I got a lot of those too. But you know what? I like to learn different things, and the only way I'm going to learn it is just to show up and to be a part of it. So you may be the mentor, but you might learn a lot from your mentee. So, you can always look at it that way, that you're not just there to guide them. They may be guiding you. You might be learning something new, or a new avenue that you can get involved in that you want to change along the way. What are your thoughts on that?
yeah, I think it ties back into what I was saying before perfectly, Tina, is that interview piece, because we do that with the mentor, but we also do that with the parent, guardian, and the little. And so we're sort of getting to know you on a deeper level, but we're also getting to know the young people who are inquiring. We talk to them about, what do they see in a mentor, right? And again, sometimes that might be just some shared interest. sometimes for them, it's really just about having someone that they can relate to. Other times they do want somebody who's from their culture. Other times that's not something that's very specific. So it really depends on the child. And so we take all of that information. If they are looking for someone to share their culture with, that's what we're going to try to find for them. If they're looking for, more of like, this is the interest, the activities that I'm interested, we're going to look at that as well. And so it's a lot of different pieces that we consider when making a match. And so sometimes like folks will be like, isn't it just easy to put, a big and a little together? But it's really not, because it's all of those things, right? And as far as the learning piece goes, 125%, I will tell you that 90, probably more than 100% of our mentors will say, like, I got into this thinking that I was going to be, helping a young person, that I was going to impact them. And I've learned so much from them, and they've completely changed my life. And we just actually were able to present at Farmers Insurance for their big annual meeting right before the holidays. And we had one of our big couples join us for that. And that's what she said, that, they do this because they enjoy it and they wanted to give back, but they've gotten so much back from doing it. And that's something that we hear from like all of our bigs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, littles, to me, sometimes I find littles easier to work with and mentor than it is sometimes to be in a crowd of a whole bunch of adults who are already set in their ways, and there's no growth there, and it's this way or no way, and that's it. Where at least with a little, you have that chance to change your mind or open your perspective, or move on. It's just so inspiring. But one thing I'm very proud of is I get to be a big brother big sister ambassador.
Yes.
Tell everybody a little bit about the ambassador, because I'm enjoying being an ambassador, and I thank you so much for inviting me to do this, because it's so much fun. But tell everybody a little bit about that program.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. So our ambassador group is brand new as of this year. We have 14 individuals on the group, and it's made up of just community leaders like yourself, who are inspired to get involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters and just sort of help us push our mission forward in different ways. And that might be just spreading the word about mentoring. It might be helping to refer mentors. It could be, getting involved with our donation center in various ways. And so, we got together in January or February, I think, and we had our first meeting. We're able to just get to know each other, talk about what we do, and then everyone gets to set a goal. So there's just one goal for the whole year. So there's only one meeting per year and one goal. And once you set that goal, that's just sort of the goal that you're able to work on throughout the year with our team. We'll be checking in with all of our ambassadors periodically through the year and just sending different opportunities to get involved. And it's really, really helpful because, we have a wonderful staff, a wonderful team, I should say, at Big Brothers Big Sisters, but we're not always able to be everywhere all of the time. And we always don't have the networks that our community leaders have as well. And so having folks like yourself and some of the other community leaders that join the group be able to say like, hey, I'm willing to help, and I'm willing to, leverage sort of my networks or just my ability to go out and do different things or whatever it might be to help with this mission that's so important, is really helpful, because at the end of the day, it really is about matching these young people who want to be in the program.
It's so incredible, and I want to open it up because we are national, so this is not just being seen in Rhode Island; it's seeing across the country. And Big Brothers Big Sisters is a national organization, so there probably is a Big Brothers Big Sisters near you, wherever you're located, in this great big United States that we live in. So I welcome you, one, to compare them to our fabulous Rhode Island team, but reach out to your local Big Brothers Big Sisters. Like, I know the pageant system that I'm with, Florida, the Big Brothers Big Sister in Florida is like our big sister organization, that we do a big charity event every year at our pageant and everything for, and they're across the country. So I welcome everybody to look them up in your area, get involved, because I'll tell you, this ambassador problem, we are stronger together. You don't know what you don't know until you don't know it. That's probably one of my favorite sayings, because I've learned so much just on the first meeting of the ambassador. I learned about different organizations that were out there. I learned about different people that were out there that I didn't know about, that the disabled community is in every one of those organizations. They didn't know about me, I didn't know about them. So it just opened my networking up to more and more people that I can help. So you never know where your impact is going to be. You never know what you're going to impact, but get out, get involved, do something, help somebody else. I'll tell you, you are going to get way more out of it than anybody you're helping. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I love that so much. I love the ambassador group. I'm so excited to work with everybody. And we have, I think there's more than 100 affiliates throughout the United States, Big Brothers, Big Sisters affiliates. And, you know, that we're all in this together. We're all trying to support young people the best that we can and just impact our communities positively. And we're all looking for mentors, you know, so we share something really important. And I think that if you're listening from another state and you've been thinking of a great way to give back that's impactful, that you know, it's something that's very critical to our communities, to really fostering young people to become you know, confident, positive adults, then this is a great way to do it. You know, one thing that I will say is that sometimes people think like, if I call or if I email or if I click this link on their website, like I am locked in today. And you know, what we want to say is like, you're not. You know, if you are even just thinking about it, just call, set up a call with us, email us, whatever it might be. Again, as I mentioned before, we can answer any questions that you may have. And it may be something that you're like, you know what, now that I've had some questions answered, I want to move forward. And it's okay if it's not as well. You know, we're not here to force anybody to be in the program. We want everyone to have a good experience, both the mentor, the parent, and the child. It's a team effort. It's a village. And so that's, you know, that what I'd say to you is that don't be fearful to kind of take the first step, because it's just the first step, you know, and you're not going to learn more about the program if you don't give us a call or you don't inquire. So
And just think, you can opt out at any time. That's the new word of this thing. You can opt out at any time. So you're not locked in for life. You know what I mean? You come in, do what you need to do, and you can opt out. I mean, if you're a mentor, I wish you would do not opt out. But, you know, if you just want to come and volunteer. But here's another question for you that just came up. What are some of the items that you would like to see donated? What are some of the most needed items or items that, you know, Big Brothers, Big Sisters wants to take in?
yeah, that's a great question. So some of the items that we take are, so basically any clothing or like sort of cloth textiles that we can take. And that even includes ripped, stained, torn, you know, like sheets, blankets, things like that. And the reason for that, it just has to be cleaned and odorless, you know, when it comes to us. And the reason that we can accept all that is that because through our community partners that we work with, all of the clothes that can't be repurposed is actually recycled. So our donation center actually helps divert it was about 3 to 5 million pounds of textile waste from the Rhode Island landfill last year. And so a lot of people don't know that you can donate that. So basically it's clothing, cloth textiles, shoes, handbags, things like that. And then we have small household items. So really that's anything that you can fit in like a small cardboard box, because there's only one person who comes to pick up with our trucks. And if you have larger items, you can bring them to any of the Savers in Rhode Island. And I believe Attleboro, Fall River, and New Bedford in Massachusetts as well. And because of our partnership with Savers, if you bring donations there, it also supports Big Brothers, Big Sisters. We have like a full specific list on our website if you go to donateri.org. So if you want to know like more specifically what those small house items might look like or what sort of the clothing items might look like, you can go there and look at the full list.
Yeah. And, you know, help them out a little bit. You know, everything has to be clean, number one. But if it's ripped, torn, stained, or whatever, put that in one bag. And the ones that you know that can be reworn and, you know, that you would let your children wear again and whatever, put it in another bag. Label the bag, you know, rewearing, repurposing, you know, help them out, because that's a big process, I'm sure, of sorting that, you know. So if you can bring it in two separate bags, help them out. You know, that could be your option to helping people out at the moment. But they want to know, what are some of the big items you're talking about? Like what big items are you looking for?
Yeah, so specifically, we're looking more for the small stuff. We actually don't accept larger items. Those would be the things like furniture and something that wouldn't fit in a box. And so for us, we're seeking more of the cloth. The cloth is really where we are able to raise more funds for the organization. However, if you do have the big items like furniture and things like that, you can bring them to Savers. But we're not like seeking out big items specifically. So the way that it works is that if we have specific needs for families, we will look for certain items. However, all of the cloth and things that are donated to Big Brothers Big Sisters is, as mentioned before, sort of repurposed and resold with those partners. And then the funding that we get from that is what supports our mentoring programs.
That is incredible. Give everybody the website and the contact information so that
Yeah,
they know how to get in touch with you.
yeah, for the donation center, it's donatesri.org. And for our mentoring programs, it's bigsri.org.
Spell that out for people who might not.
Sure. For the mentoring, it's BIGS, which is BIGS, bigsri.org. And then for the donation center, it's DONATION. Got me there. Sorry, donates, DONATERI.org. I know it's going to be
Any
spelling today.
any emails, phone numbers, anything that people need to know, to make sure that they can contact somebody, or if they want to sign up to be a mentor, or sign up your business to have them come down and do a presentation to your business about, because you may not be able to or may not have the time, but your organization or your company may be able to open it up and give them a platform to speak on. Talk a little bit about that, Tina.
Yeah, so we're always welcomed and excited to come to any business or organization and talk about mentoring and class donations. All you have to do is reach out to us. You can reach out to me specifically, or you can just go on our web and reach out there as well. And it's just a nice way that if you're at an organization, you're like, this would be something really great that employees could get involved in together, or just an opportunity that I think would be great. We'll go in and it's really brief. We can make it as short or as long as you would like it. A lot of times we do like lunch and learn. So it might be during like a lunch, we're able to either do a Zoom or an in-person meeting. And again, really just kind of come in and tell us some of the ins and outs like we're doing here tonight about the organization, what we do, who we are, answer any questions, and provide a way for folks to, to get connected if they're interested.
Yep. Somebody online wants to know, what do you have coming up in the next month or two? What are some of the events that you have coming up in the month or two? Here's your opportunity to promote. We're better than Channel 10 and 12 right now. You are open to the nation.
Well, perfect question, because we actually have our scholarship impact night coming up on April 20th. It's at 5:00 p.m. It's at our office in Providence and Rising Sun Mills on Valley Street. And this is a wonderful event. If you are interested or ever considering mentoring, this is the event you want to be at, because this event allows us, where we'll be celebrating all of our littles who are receiving scholarships. So I'll kind of explain what our scholarships are in just a minute, but also just a way to celebrate our graduating littles and also our matches of the year. So it's a really exciting time, and it's a great way because you're going to hear from our team, you're going to hear from some of our bigs and littles, and really see the mission in action at this event. You can go to our website. Again, it's bigsri.org. And if you go to events and happening, you can find the information, the link to purchase tickets. Or if you're an organization and you're looking to sponsor the event, there's also a link in which has some sponsorship information on that as well. So we're really looking for folks to just come and support in any way that they can. So we have that coming up in April. And then after that, we have a really great event that happens every year in June down in Narragansett. It's a really fun beach party that raises funds for our organization. It's called Welcome to Summer, and it's at Bonnet Shores Beach Club. And that's on June 24th at 7:30 p.m. And again, that's on our website. So if you're interested and getting involved in that event or just attending that event, it's a really, really great summer event. It's, light beach food, there's a live band. I think this year it's Brass Attack, and it's just, fun, food, dancing, and friends, and a great way to just help raise funds for our programs.
And I will be at both of those events because one, Brass Attack is awesome, but you forgot one, and this is how awesome I am. You are part of 401 Gives, just like we are back
Yes.
here. We're part of 401 Gives. Tell everybody about how they can participate with Big Brothers Big Sisters for 401 Gives.
Yeah, so with 401 Gives, as you know, it's a day of giving throughout Rhode Island. So many organizations are taking part in it. And with us, what you can do is, I think they're doing like a weekend edition this year. So I believe that there's a link. Actually, we have it up on our web, and we've been posting it on social media that you can create sort of like a fundraising page or link. And then once it goes live, I believe on, so April 1st is actually the date, but I
It's
think it's
March
going to be
31st at 6
yeah.
a.m. until March 3rd at midnight.
Exactly. So you have essentially 3 days this year, which is really great. So you can donate to our 401 Gives campaign, or you can share your sort of link and raise funds. And it's just, again, an easy way is just sharing our social media link if you don't have, a specific fundraising page. But this is a very direct way to raise funds for many nonprofits throughout the state. Your organization, Tina, and all the work that you do and advocacy and, our organization. And it's really helpful. Every little bit counts. And I think this is a challenge. I think this has been a challenging couple of years for many organizations.
Yeah.
And so I would just encourage everyone, if you're able to donate in any kind of way, large or small, please do, because it goes a long way.
And just in case anybody doesn't know what 401 Gives is, 401 Gives is Rhode Island's Day of Giving. 401, April 1st, we're the 401 area code. So, they kind of played on that. This is the 4th year that they're doing it. RAMP has been involved for all 4 years. But this is the philanthropic, I can't say that word, so I'm not going to attempt it again. The day of giving to all of the nonprofits in Rhode Island. Nonprofits sign up for it. Not every nonprofit is part of it. But here is your day to learn, your weekend. It's a weekend this year. This is your weekend to learn about all of the nonprofits in Rhode Island. There might be nonprofits that are serving communities that you don't know about, that you want to be part of it. And this year, they're actually adding a water fire piece. It's going to be a basin lighting the night before it all kicks off, where all the nonprofits that want to are going to be a part of. So I know Big Brothers Big Sisters is part of that. So if you can, give to their organization. If you want to give to the disability community, you can always give to RAMP, but I'm here to pronounce Big Brothers Big Sisters. They do a lot of amazing things throughout, and we're partnered with them. I'm part of their ambassador program. So just because we all have our own nonprofits doesn't mean we can't support each other, because we're in this together. We all need to do our part, and we all need to help each other. What are we missing, Tina? What does Big Brothers Big Sisters do that we didn't get to talk about tonight?
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like there's just so much, but I would just like to, I guess, highlight some of the different things that we have with our mentoring programs that are really supports for, our matches. I think I've mentioned a couple of them just in the conversation that we had. One of them was the match activities. But I think there are some really great aspects of our program that highlight some of how we're making impact with our young people through mentoring. One of them would be one of the big pieces of the mentoring program, once you're sort of paired with a young person, is a young person has sort of talked with our team before about some goals that they have and some things that they'd like to achieve. And these goals might be, something simple like learning a new trick on a skateboard, or it might be becoming more confident in the community and, trying a new activity. It could be something in school, but it's kind of opportunities are open to discussion, and every little sets a SMART goal that they're able to work on with their big. And it's really important for us to highlight that, because, it's growing a lot of skills in doing that. One, it's just, gives a great baseline for a big and a little of something to work towards together, especially when they're first match. Great conversation about, like, how did you come up with this goal? What encouraged you to do this? What's that, why did you want to achieve this? And then for the littles, it's a great way to just learn, strategies, like, what would it take to get to this goal? Let's talk about it. But again, sometimes it's simple things. It's not always like something really big, but I think the goal development piece is really important to highlight. I mentioned the match activities before, because again, that's a great way to become part of the mentoring community with other bigs and littles. great way, especially in the beginning, to get to know each other better and to kind of like try some different things that we have offered at our organization or in the community. So that's a great perk. But one of the other things that I had mentioned was our team of social workers. And with that, I want to highlight that one of the things that we do as an organization is we provide through those social workers case management and wraparound services. And what that means is that as a mentor, we want your role to be the mentor. So, we are asking people to invest that 18-month commitment time. And we are asking, folks to, we'll talk to you about sort of like, are you able to do that? And it's really important that folks who are coming through the door are able to make that 18-month investment. However, with that, I lost my train of thought with that one. But we were talking about the goal development with matching, the case management and the wraparound services. I'm sorry, it's getting late. But with that, it's important to mention that because this is a big piece on how we're able to support the family and the little. So it sort of takes a lot of what I was talking about off that pressure off of the mentor, as I was talking about before, because some people have said to me before, like, well, what happens if I think that the family needs something, or that I think that there's something going on? Like, what if something does come up? It doesn't often, right? But what if something does? Our team of social workers are there to take that on. So again, your role as the mentor to sort of be that caring, consistent person. Our team is there to sort of be that case management piece. So if we feel that a family needs some resources, we're able to call on our other organizations throughout the state and refer them to whoever might be able to be the best support for whatever it might be, and in that way support the family. Also, we have a really great fund called the Family Empowerment and Investment Fund. And with that, that's a really awesome fund that sort of, it was sort of like revised from an old emergency fund that we used to have, where it helped support just sort of emergency assistance for our families. But then through the pandemic, we really realized that, as many things with schools got cut, especially like extracurricular activities for a while. Just like a lot of those like things that help with social development, music classes, all of those like sort of enrichment things that young people would do and might be interested in. And we realized that there was also a high need for young people to get back involved. And sometimes getting involved in those activities costs money. I mean, I remember, when I was young taking dance classes, and as I started to get, higher up, it was like, okay, like I'm in 5 different classes now. What does that cost, right? And so for a young person who's interested and may not have the funds for that, this is a great opportunity. So the Family Investment and Empowerment Fund allows families to sort of request support and funds for different things. It could be emergency assistance, but it could be for these enrichment activities, which is really, really awesome. This is an example. We had a little over this past summer who got accepted to the NASA summer camp, which is a really, really huge accomplishment for a 9-year-old. So, but she wasn't going to be able to go without the cost of the flights covered. So this was something we were able to help with, and she was able to go. And it was just so exciting just to see, pictures come back and see that she was able to have that opportunity. And there's been other things like sports equipment. It could be driving school, and things like that. So I really like to highlight the Family Empowerment Fund. Those are some of the program highlights. I would say.
Some of the program highlights. I could talk with you all night long. I absolutely love everything that Big Brothers Big Sisters does. You are an incredible asset. They are so lucky to have someone like you at the helm over there, doing what you do best. Like I said, I could talk about this all night long. Big Brothers Big Sisters, bigs, bigs.org. Make sure you're going to the site. If you're a male and you were ever once considered being a mentor, reach out, please. There are young men out there who would love to have somebody, just take some pressure off, just give somebody to hang out with. So if you're available to give any time at all, please reach out, start the process. You won't regret it. I'm telling you, you'll get way more out of it than your mentee will. So, as we're nearing the end of our time together, unfortunately, tell everybody why Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Yeah, why Big Brothers Big Sisters? I love that question and I love answering that question because I'm very passionate about our organization and what we do and just the impact. And I would say because exactly that it's just impactful. It's critical. It's something that's so needed. I just personally think back to being a young person and I think back to some of those adults that I was thankful enough to have, in my life that spoke to me and encouraged me and pushed me forward. And then I stop and think like, what would my life be like had I not had those in my life? And then even growing up professionally, right? Like, I've had lots of professional, I've had a few people, I wouldn't say a lot, like few people that have mentored me throughout my professional career. And where would I be without those people? And so, why Big Brothers Big Sisters? Because you have the opportunity to completely, have a great time, but also just impact a young person. You yourself are going to gain so much from it as well, and you're just able to give back. And then also with the cloth donations, if you're not able to mentor, you're still giving back in that way, right? You're giving back by helping the environment because you're helping to divert cloth from the waste. We actually profit share with other nonprofits through our bin partnerships and clothing drives. So we actually profit shared about 150,000 last year with other nonprofits throughout the state. And then, it's helpful for you as well with, being able to come to your house and pick up the cloth. And so I always like to say, no matter how you decide to give back with Big Brothers Big Sisters, it could be with your time, with mentoring, it could be with your treasures, with the donation center, you're still positively impacting young people throughout the state. And it's something that you can't really put a price on, and it's something you can't really put that time investment on, which is not all that much, I have to tell you.
Yeah. And you're also setting a great example for other young people out there to do the right thing. If you have children ever, it's definitely leading you in the right direction and leading them in the right direction to give back when they can, when they grow up. So you're not only impacting the person you're mentoring, yet you're impacting your own family, your own life, and everybody else around you. So I implore you to get involved. Everybody can do something. Tina, thank you so much for taking the time tonight and telling everybody about Big Brothers Big Sisters. Make sure everybody is checking out bigs.org. Go to their website, check it out, do everything you can to make sure you get back. Thank you so much, Tina, for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. Yep, and that's bigsri.org.
And as always, I invite everybody to come back next Wednesday night, same time, same channel. And I get to talk to another Tau 2 classmate. We are talking the Civic Index with Kyla Clinton, Walters Clinton. I always mess them up. I'm dyslexic. So I have her on next week. So same time, same channel. And as I always say, don't just sit there, everybody. Make a difference. Have a great night.